In this video I'm going to show you a bunch of super cool Mixolydian licks, so stay tuned. Hey there, James here for James Shipway Guitar, and welcome to my Mixolydian Licks video. So I'm going to show you 3 great licks using Mixolydian, and if you need to go back to my video on the Mixolydian mode, then click right here, and there I show you the fingering and a bit of theory behind the scale and all this kind of thing. So go back if you're not quite clear what the Mixolydian mode is and have a bit of a recap there. Now, you can get the lesson notes for this video with the tab for the licks and the scale shapes and everything I'm using by clicking the link below. So check that out if you want it. But without further ado, let's dive in and have a reminder on our Mixolydian scale that we're going to use for playing these licks. So here we go. I'm going to play it up at the 12th fret. And it's 12 on the E string, 14 on the E string, 11, 12, 14 on the A string, 11, 12, 14 on the D string, 11, 13, 14 on the G string, 12, 14, 15 on the B string, and 12, 14, 16 on the top E string. Now the scale shape for that, the tab for that is in the lesson notes that I talked about a moment ago, and this is the same shape I showed you in the earlier Mixolydian video in my scales, central scales series. I've just transposed it up to E by moving it up to the 12th fret. Now this is the same scale shape I went through in my Mixolydian video in the essential scales series that I talked about a second ago. I've simply transposed it or changed the key of it up to E by moving it up to the 12th fret. So now we've got E Mixolydian. Again, if you're not clear on how to do that, click this video, and that's where I show you the method and the logic behind what I've done just to move these scale shapes into a different key. Very important skill which every guitar player needs to know, so check it out if you need to. Anyway, we've got our Mixolydian scale. The other thing that's really important that we know about up there is our E7 arpeggio. So I'm just going to quickly take you through that. It's 12 on the E string, 11 to 14 on the A string, 12 to 14 on the D string, 13 on the G string, 12 to 15 on the B string, and 12 to 16 on the top E. Okay then, I think we're ready to have a listen to the first lick. Right, let's look at how we play that lick. So I'm going to start off at the B string at the 15th fret. I'm going to bend it up using my 3rd finger. And I'm bending it up 2 frets. And after I bend it up, I'm going to choke it off with my right hand and let it down silently, like this. So we don't hear the let down because I'm deadening off the note with my right hand here, just tapping it very gently. When we've let it down, we're going to bend it up and hold it for a moment. Then we're going to deaden it off and let it down again and play the 12th fret on the top E string, like this. Then we're going to do that last bit again. We're going to bend 15 up on the B string and play 12 on the top E string again. So that's what we've got so far. Now the next trick we're going to do is a really tasty little bend in this Mixolydian mode. So really explore this one on your own and you're improvising. It's one of the best sounding sort of ideas in this Mixolydian shape that I know. And it's the 14th fret on the B string, and we're going to bend it up 1 fret. Then we're going to let it down, pick it, and play the 12th fret on the B string. So we get this. The next thing we're going to do is play the 14th fret on the G string, then 12 to 14 on the B string again, and then we're going to slide into the G string at the 13th fret and play the 12th fret on the B string. Now there's quite a lot in there, I know. Let me take that round again very slowly. So we've got this. So that's the first part of the lick. Now the second part is almost exactly the same apart from the very last note. So let's look at what's going to change there. We'll do the first bit the same. Instead of going to the B string at the 12th fret, we're going to play the D string at the 14th fret. The rest of the lick is exactly the same, so no problems with that bit. So here's the second part of the lick again. So if I put that whole lick together for you very slowly, it sounds like this. So a couple of little devices that we've learned from that one. One is this idea of choking off the bend with your picking hand before you let it down. Very important for getting clean, punchy, well-articulated bends. And the other key thing from this lick is this B string bend here. In this case, it's at the 14th fret. Bend that up one fret, and that's a really nice little thing to do when you're using this Mixolydian pattern to improvise. Always sounds cool. Let's hear it one more time over the backing track before we move on to lick 2. Okay, let's have a listen to what lick number 2 sounds like then. So how are we playing lick 2? Well, let's take a look at it. We're starting off at the 11th fret on the G string. I'm picking that note and I'm hammering on to 13 on the G string. Now I'm using my second finger there. You could use your third finger, that would work fine too. But I'm going to use my second. Now I'm going to move on to the B string at the 12th fret. I'm going to pick that note and hammer on to 15 on the B string. Now onto the top E string, I'm going to pick the 12th fret on the top E, hammer on to 12 and pull off, hammer on to 14, sorry, and pull off back to 12 again. So I got there in the end, so we get this. The last little bit I fluffed at the end there was 12 to 14 and back to 12 on the top E string. So we get this. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take the top E string at 14 and we're going to bend it up 2 frets. We're going to kill it off, let it down and pick 14 and pull off to 12 and then play 15 on the B string. You can see for that I'm using my third finger and then I'm playing my third finger at the 15th fret on the B string. So here's what we've got so far in lick 2. So another useful little device coming from this Mixolydian pattern here is this top E bend. In this case it's at 14. Always take note in a scale shape of which notes are good notes to bend because it gives you a real good start when you start trying to use that scale pattern in your playing. Okay, let's look at what we're doing next then. Now we're going to play 12 on the B string with our first finger. I'm going to play that again. So we get... Then we're going to grab that nice bend on the 14th fret again on the B string. We're going to pick it. We're going to bend it up 1 fret. Let it down and then play 12 on the B string. And I'm going to pull off to that 12th fret on the B string. That feels natural to me. Like that. So we've got this so far. Okay, next thing we're going to do is play the top E string at the 12th twice, and then we're going to slide into the G string at the 13th fret. I might slide from just like 1 or 2 frets away there, and then play the 12th fret on the B string. So the end bit. So here's how that whole lick sounds. Right, let's have a listen to that one more time over the backing track. Two down, one to go. Let's have a listen now to lick number 3. Right, for lick 3, I'm starting at the 12th fret on the D string with my 3rd finger. And I'm going to pick it and slide it up to 14, so we get this. Now I'm going to play the 13th fret on the G string, 12th fret on the B string, and back to 13 on the G. Now you might notice all those notes are coming from the arpeggio shape. The arpeggio shape really is the backbone of the scale, like I talked about earlier. So this lick is just kind of illustrating that point, really. So once more, there's that first bit. Now we're going to grab the B string at the 14th fret. It's that nice tasty bend we've used a lot in these licks. And we're going to pick it and bend it up just 1 fret. Let it down and pick it. And then play 12 on the B string. Now the next bit reaches up to the top note of the scale shape, or the arpeggio shape. We're going to pick 16 on the top E and pull off to 12. Play 15 on the B string, and then play 12 on the top E string. And to finish off, we're going to pick 14 on the B string, pull it off to the first finger at the 12th fret on the B string, 13 on the G string, maybe with a little slide, and 14 on the D string. That's the second part of the lick. So let's have a listen to how the whole lick sounds really slow. Here we go. So now you've got those 3 licks, what are you going to do with them? Well, the first thing really is to just learn them, experiment with them, practice playing them over backing tracks, find a nice sort of groove on an E7 chord, and just get used to using them. But then the next stage after that really is to just kind of pick out the parts of the licks that you really like the sound of and see if you can use them to make up a load of your own stuff. This is how we grow as improvisers, through studying other people's licks, other people's phrases. So you don't just want to stop at learning these ones that I've come up with. See if you can use them as like the jumping off point for some of your own ideas. That's when you'll make the real sort of quantum leap as an improviser, when you start doing that. So there you go, 3 licks, an arpeggio shape and a scale shape. So that's quite a bit of material there to get you started off with the Mixolydian mode. So just go off and explore that now. Remember, you can get the lesson notes with the tab and everything by clicking the link below this video, and I'll send you a copy of that. But other than that, I think that's about it for me today. So I really hope you found this video useful. Please hit like if you have enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great videos. And also, if you've got any questions or comments, then leave them below here, because I do check all my comments and questions and I do try and reply to them all. So anything you want to say, just leave a message below this video. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really hope to see you again in one of my videos very soon. But until then, take care and I'll catch you next time. So that's how the arpeggio shape is really the backbone of the scale sound. So don't neglect those notes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So exploring your Mixolydian mode. So there you go, 3 licks and